Hi, Cancer Rising Sign. It is your weekly forecast starting on the 4th of May until the 13th of May. So, welcome back. Let's have a look at your astrological weather for this 10-day period. I think your life right now is a tug of war between your personal presence and your long-term goals. With transits hitting your 11th house, the house of networks, and your 10th house, the house of career, this is not a time to be a hermit. You are being pushed onto the stage. However, you are also being asked to rethink what you value and how you generate your own resources. So let's break down the timing for these 10 days so you can navigate this with confidence and ease. But I would like to also invite you to look at my masterclass coming up on relocation. This is going to be a 16-week course. And it's a promise that you are going to be learning so much tools to figure out your best location to live a happy life that I think it's a must to have this course. It's available through my membership, but you can also purchase it separately as well. But let's get going. On the May 4th, we have got Ceres in your 11th house sextile Jupiter in your first house. So Ceres is in your 11th house of network, sextiling Jupiter in the house of self. So this is an identity expansion moment within your community. So you're realizing that you don't have to sacrifice your personal needs to be a valuable part of a group, or you can be authentic, nurturing self while still being a pillar of support for friends or professional organizations. Somehow it tells you not to fade into the background, show your group who you really are, focus on quality, spend time with network contacts who actually support your personal growth. And your energy is quite magnetic today. So attend the meeting or certain type of a gathering because it is bringing something positive into your life. Jupiter is a planet of work in your chart. So this might be a job offer, for example, that might be coming through a friend of yours. And of course, because Mercury is ruling isolation in your chart, you might not want to be taking on this social project or an invitation to a party, but it might be bringing something super good for you. However, don't overgive. Don't solve everyone else's problems at the expense of your own vitality. So, of course, Jupiter is a medical planet in your chart and it acts like a guardian angel in your first house, but still, it can grow things in your body that shouldn't be there. Especially because we are going to be forming a sextile with Mercury as well, between Jupiter and Mercury is also a medical planet of yours. So, therefore, practice a lot of self care. And Ceres surely wants you to be cared for. It's not just about you caring for others, but let them care for you as well. And I think don't change your persona just to fit in into a group. And remember, don't hide. This is an aspect that requires you to be visible. Not that Mercury squaring Pluto, though, and Juno as well in your eighth house. This is a friction between your social goals and your shared resources or deep emotional bonds. So you might face a situation where a group of friends or a professional association ask for access to your shared resources or secrets or financial data. And Pluto here demands transparency, while Juno make you feel tied to a contract potentially you might want to break. So imagine that you are handing in your resignation and they are telling you that, oh, your contract contains 3 month notice, for example, and then how I can get out of that. So therefore, it's important with this that we read the fine print. If you're dealing with contracts or joint accounts, just be very meticulous. I think keep your private financial life separate from your public social life. So this might be about a friend of yours who is asking to lend them money. You might have to be dealing with some inheritance, for example, and so on. Maybe you're going to have to create strict boundaries here, but be transparent. If you are feeling pressured, be honest about why you are hesitating. This might be about you having to talk about your fears with a friend of yours too. I think the eighth house holds secrets, so don't trade them for So basically don't get involved in certain type of gossips, especially because Mercury rules your third house. That's the house of gossip. Don't ignore the red flags. So if a contract or a commitment feels obsessive, manipulative, listen to that gut feeling. Maybe actually a friend of yours is going to give you a piece of advice about something, and it might be an unpleasant one. Talking to a friend of yours about unpleasant things, it might be a trigger button there that someone pushes, or you push a trigger button of someone, and of course that could be painful. And don't let a group push you into an agreement that compromises your security. Now, Pallas Athene and Neptune are making a conjunction in your 10th house, so this might be a career breakthrough. It isn't based on a linear path, actually, it is based on a vision. So you might realize that the way you have been presenting your career is wrong, and you want to make a new kind of strategic move there. You are looking for creative ways to achieve your goals. Or you start seeing the pattern in your life connected to success, connected to jobs. Like, why am I having to become a leader all the time, for example? But this could also indicate that you are coming up with a plan how to get out of a workplace, for example. But if a career move feels right, even if it kind of defies logic, then look into it because something is actually kind of it's happening there, right? In your 10th house, a lot of planetary energies. And it feels like that you are required to make a career move. You can have a lot of visionary ideas. Maybe it's a bit foggy still with Neptune, but it feels like that it's going to get clearer. And maybe you just need to find a mentor who is able to see the bigger picture and they are able to help you make things like to see things clearer, basically. However, don't quit your job or launch a huge project without a plan, though, because unfortunately your butt can get kicked. Neptune loves to blur the lines, so use Pallas Athene to keep the facts organized. And don't be vague either. If you are pitching an idea, make sure that the communication is super crystal clear. Let's prepare for that presentation. Now we've got Demeter entering your second house this week until the 6th of August, and Demeter is the goddess of harvest. So she's entering the second house, the house of income and self-worth. So this is an excellent news for your wallet or your confidence. So for the next few months, your work is your harvest. So you will find that the more you value your own talents, the more the world values them too. So it is a time to monetize your creativity and take pride in what you produce. Maybe this is when you want to be increasing your rates. If you have been undercharging, then it might be time to adjust. Maybe it's about putting money into tools that make your work shine, or maybe it's about you being proud of something that you have achieved so far. So sometimes we have to celebrate the small wins as well. This is not a time to be humble. Don't downplay on your success. And don't waste your energy either. Only focus on projects that provide a tangible return on investment. And it might also invite you not to rely on others as well, because you meant to be nurturing your own financial stability. Now, the dispositor of the Demeter is the Sun, and the Sun is actually making a sextile to Jupiter this week. So I think it's about you being seen and recognized. Your personal brand is growing. Maybe it's a YouTube channel. Your network is acting as a booster for your own self-development. And eventually, this should be giving you financial return. I think you bringing people together, you can host an event with that. Remember that you are meant to be out in the world, you are meant to be visible. Your words carry weight today as well, so can you really use them for your own benefit? But um, don't be stingy with your own time. That's also very important with this. So don't overcommit. Keep your schedule as manageable as possible. Even Mercury makes a sextile to Jupiter as well, and that might be about finalizing a plan with a friend of yours. Vesta enters your 10th house, so you're gonna be focusing on work quite a lot. And Bacchus enters Cancer, which is you, so it's about self-care. So altogether, these energies are about maybe with Mercury and Jupiter, we are going to be able to sign a new contractual agreement. Vesta would like you to treat your career as a sacred mission, so commit to that career path. And Bacchus in the first house says that you have to be able to take care of yourself, to treat yourself, that you deserve a massage, a luxury treat for your body. And maybe that's also inviting you to eat better. However, the negative side of Vesta in the times that we can doubt our directions in life. And Vesta is all about unwavering focus. With Mercury and Jupiter, often we have got a tendency to say yes to everything. So it is asking you to protect your time, though, because you might get phone calls from the friends, oh, can you help me with this? It's the neighbor, and so on. And don't neglect self-care. If you feel overwhelmed, Bacchus demands you prioritize your personal comfort. So it feels like that you are in a phase of significant professional and social evolution. There's a lot of networking happening in your chart. There is the time now here for financial harvest or career ignition. It's the theme that you need to know that you are enough and you are good at something. You have to recognize your own value. You have to recognize your importance among your friends, people in your career. And then eventually your bank account pretty much will follow the suit. So I'm seeing financial improvement happening for you. It feels like your senses are getting more like signaling. You seem to be a lot more sensitive to the energies around you. And that could be a bit of a danger as well, right? Because you can be picking up on the pain of others, especially with that Mercury-Pluto square. Um, so therefore, you might be noticing that people are kind of coming to you with their advice, and that's why the self-care is important because these people can be draining you. These people can be bringing you down mentally. So, and it is about you becoming kind of, um, too like sympathetic towards others. Um, I think it's about you signing up to new experiences as well. Maybe it's about allowing people to enter your life. You can make new friends, new connections. So that would be lovely, I think, and who might be able to kind of boost your confidence a little bit more. If you are in a relationship, this could talk to you about socializing a little bit more or actually working on the trust element within the partnership, working on vulnerability and intimacy department also. So, good luck, Cancer Rising sign. I hope you found this navigation useful. And if you found this forecast helpful, please like the video and subscribe for more. I'm Victor Simon, and I will see you in the next forecast. Take care. Bye bye.